Welcome to NI UK and Europe edition. I'm Anne Glauser reporting from Geneva, Switzerland. We bring you news report from the United Kingdom and Europe. Today's news roundup. UK taking P&O Ferries to court over mass sackings. Multimillionaire flies refugees to Switzerland. In the UK, Ballet greats unite for London Ukraine benefit gala, reported by Arabelle Celestino.
Hi, Maan, and today I will be reporting about the Dance for Ukraine, the gala to raise funds for Ukraine and send aid.
Thank you, Arabelle. So, still in the UK, we'll be exploring Edinburgh, Scotland's beautiful capital, reported by Ariane Celestino. Then in Germany, where they eases its COVID-19 regulations, reported by John Pabustan. Then we have our reporter from Germany, Jessica Kalau, about Frankfurt's Palmen Garden. In our sports segment, we have Manchester United hold talks with Ajax coach Erik ten Hag over manager job, reported by Kit Dimabuyu. Then we have our view from our window, Etretat in France's Normandy region. In the UK, the British government is taking P&O Ferries to court over its mass sacking last week of 800 workers, Prime Minister Boris Johnson said on Wednesday as the company apologized. The loss-making ferry operator owned by Dubai's DP World prompted outrage last Thursday when it told staff in a video conference call that a quarter of company jobs were going with immediate effects. Some staff refused to leave company property and even ships in dock, prompting extraordinary scenes of security guards scaling vessels to remove them. Cancellations of services saw long tailbacks on roads leading to channel ports, and angry workers have held protests after unions said staff were told to reapply for their posts via agencies on lesser pay. The government has criticized how news of the redundancies was broken to staff, although opposition parties alleged that cabinet ministers may have been warned that job losses were on the cards, but did nothing to prevent it. On Wednesday, P&O Ferries chief executive Peter Hebblethwaite apologized and said he understood the anger and shock about the job losses. The move was an incredibly difficult decision, he added, but maintained it was the only way to save the business. Last week, the company, which operates 4 routes serving Britain, France, Ireland, and the Netherlands, said it was facing £100 million or $131 million loss, making its business unviable. Since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine, millions of refugees have fled the country. Many have crossed the neighboring borders, whilst some have escaped to other countries in Europe. About 100 Ukrainians fleeing the war, mostly women and children, were able to find refuge in Switzerland thanks to multimillionaire Guido Fleury. The generous multimillionaire, who grew up in foster care himself, chartered the plane to fly Ukrainian refugees to Switzerland. For Guido Fleury, it is important that people manage to put themselves in the shoes of those who are in a dire situation. He described solidarity in Switzerland as enormous. He was particularly happy to see relief on the faces of the Ukrainian refugees. In his own words, he said, when you can bring people who have fled to safety, who have been afraid of death, who have been shot at, when you see what you can trigger emotionally in them, it is stronger than anything. A large number of women and their children have left everything behind, including their homes and other families, as they fear for the safety of their children.
Yes, it was rather difficult for us because we are a young family and we have our house there and we should left everything. Yeah. My mom is there with my grandma, so I'm really scared about them. It's too hard for us, but still I have 3 kids, so I should save them. I should save their lives.
I'm from Kiev and I leave Kiev because there is a war and I have a little child here and I don't know what awaits me in Switzerland or in another country, but I don't have another way. That is why I must do it.
Time for a break. Please come back for more ENI UK and Europe edition.
Hoy, Mr. Pwede! Masama at bawal ang pag-inom!
Diyan ka na naman sa kakabawal mo, Mr. Bawal eh. Napaka-KJ mo.
Walang magandang dulot ang pag-inom! Lalo na't eleksyon ngayon! Bawal yan!
Ayon sa Omnibus Election Code, ang pagbibenta, pagbili o pag-inom ng alak sa araw ng eleksyon ay isang election offense.
Inggit ka lang! Oye, oye! Pakawalan niyo ako! Hindi na ako uulit!
Hay nako! Nasa uli talaga ang pagsisisi. Don't drink and vote. Ako si Mr. Bawal na nagpapaalala na hindi na nga mabuti ang pag-inom ng alak, tapos sa eleksyon, gagawin mo pa? Bawal yan!
A public service message of Net25 for Mata ng Halalan 2022. Matatag, matapang, matapat.
I believe. Make way for Dina Pinagpala, the mayor's second wife. The forever beauty queen. The quintessential ganda lang puhunan. Be charmed by Diana Meneses sa Panalo o Talo. It's you sa Net25. Weeknights pagkatapos ng Mi Esperanza. Dito lang sa Net25, prime time ng pamilya. Let's get together sa init ng summer.
Welcome back to ENI UK and Europe edition. I'm Ann Glauser. Interesting stories around the UK and Europe this week. World-renowned ballet dancers raise funds for Ukraine. Arabelle Celestino is with us today to tell us more. Hi, Arabelle.
Hi, Maan, and yes, world-famous ballet dancers from Russia and Ukraine, Argentina, Cuba, France, and Japan came together on Saturday for a gala to raise funds for Ukraine and send a message of peace. The yellow and blue flag of Ukraine flew outside the London Coliseum for the show, which aimed to raise more than 100,000 UK pounds for the UK Disasters Emergency Committee collective of leading charities. But one of the organizers, Ukrainian dancer and producer Ivan Putrov, told the packed audience before the Dance for Ukraine event started that 140,000 pounds had already been donated. Please don't stop your support, he told them. Ivan Putrov also talked about the purpose of this show. Let's listen in.
After what we've seen is happening to our loved ones back home, for me and for where Alina has spent so much time of her life studying, we felt that we must do something trying to help. And the best thing to do is what we know, which is theatre, dance, produce. So Dance for Ukraine, that is organized by us at London Coliseum, which is where we are right now, is really about two things. One is about raising funds to save lives. It really would save lives. And also, we are sending a message of solidarity with people of Ukraine.
The team of world-leading dancers performing included Russia's Natalia Osipova, Argentina's Marianela Nunes, and Japan's Fumi Kaneko, all from the Royal Ballet, and France's Mathieu Gagnot from the Paris Opera. Ukraine's Katya Kanjukova, Spain's Aether Arieta, and the United States' Emma Hawes of the English National Ballet also took the stage. Putrov, who was a principal dancer with London's Royal Ballet from 2002 to 2010, said before the show that they intended to send a message to the West, those in Ukraine, but also Russia. Some Russians will hear us and will raise their voice because what's happening is outrageous, he told AFP. We as artists have talent and we need to use this talent to say what we believe in. Art has a voice and is the voice that we use. The evening opened with the Ukrainian national anthem and closed with the Triumph of Love from the ballet Raymonda with music by Russia's Alexander Glazunov. The 13 symbolism-laden choreographies in between included No Man's Land by Liam Scarlett, Lacrimosa by Edward Sturley, and Ashes by Jason Kittelberger. Russian composers including Tchaikovsky and Rachmaninoff also featured. Russian culture doesn't have anything to do with President Vladimir Putin, and equally Putin has nothing to do with Russian culture, said Putrov. Osipova, one of the most famous Russian dancers outside her country, declined to be interviewed, but her presence signifies that Russia doesn't equal aggression, said Putrov. Back to you, man.
Okay, so I have a question. Can you explain to us how one of the performances conveyed to the theme of this show?
Well, man, The Death of a Swan by Camille Saint-Saëns is one of the numbers in the show that was performed by Cuba's Javier Torres of the Northern Ballet. This piece is about the paraplegic who loses one of his limbs and represents fighting for what you have lost, Torres said the AFP. He also said that he has not previously mixed art with politics, but Saturday's gala was a humanitarian duty as a dancer, as a human right defender, and first as a person and then as an artist. Back to you, man.
Thank you for joining us today and for bringing us this story, Aribel.
Thank you so much, man. Reporting from London, United Kingdom, I'm Aribel Celestino, and we live in interesting times.
We now go on a tour around Edinburgh. Ariane Celestino takes us there. Let's take a look.
Hello everyone! In today's video, we will be visiting Edinburgh. So come and join us in our trip. After climbing the hill, we're finally here in front of the Edinburgh Castle! Woo! just makes you feel as if you were living that time, even just for a few seconds of your life. I also enjoyed the National Museum Scotland. There were so many interactive things and so many things to see too. So next time you visit Edinburgh, don't forget to put this museum in your itinerary.
Good morning. So it's the second day, and today we'll be going to another museum and to Towton Hill. Join us in our journey there.
Even though it was raining and cloudy, it was a fresh and nice hike. Kidding. It was a nice walk, and we were still able to see the three known monuments: Nelson Monument, Dougal Stewart Monument, and lastly Burns Monument. And finally, one of the last things we did was, guess what? Buying souvenirs. Something small to make us remember our stay in Edinburgh. This is actually one of my favorite things that I love to do every time I visit new places.
So we're on our way to the airport. Bye-bye!
I guess this is the end of this journey with us. We hope you enjoyed it. I am Arian Celestino. Until next time.
Thank you for taking us to Edinburgh, Ariane. Now let's go to Germany, where they have started to ease its COVID-19 measures. John Pabustan has the details. Let's listen in.
Since March 20, 2022, the German government is easing the COVID-19 regulations for its country. At the moment, an evidence for vaccination, recovery of corona, or negative testing is no longer required in public places and transportation, but it is still required to wear a mask inside transportation vehicles. Companies are allowed to assess the condition of their respective workplaces and establish hygiene concepts on their own as they seem fit. An exception to the eased regulations are hotspot regions, where the number of COVID-19 incidents remain at a dangerous level at the moment. Due to the still rising numbers of COVID-19 cases in general in Germany, some states are still following the regulations prior March 20, such as Bavaria or Berlin. But it is still advised to check the regulation of the respective federal state during a stay in Germany. There will also be upcoming changes in the German COVID-19 regulations in April. I'm John Pabustan from the EBC Bureau Germany, and we live in interesting times.
Thank you, John, for that update from Germany. Time for a break. Please come back for more in a UK and Europe edition.
Tinatayang nasa 63 million na individuals ang gumagamit ng cryptocurrency at blockchain wallet para sa kanilang mga bayarin at transaksyon. May ilan pang ang naniniwala na mas maaasahan ito kaysa sa traditional na transaction records at database. Ano nga ba ang dapat na malaman bago mag-invest sa cryptocurrency? Ano ang mga karaniwang pagkakamali ng crypto users? We'll answer these questions with the help of our guest, Mr. James Dongla, President and CEO of My Services Shop Incorporated.
Blockchain is the only technology na hindi po nahahack.
If you don't embrace the change, mahirap sa organization to grow.
All these in this episode of Open for Business.
Mahal, paalam, ako punta, Kiera.
Ito para iyo.
Ano ito?
Pirma ka muna, insurance.
Gawa tayo pelikula. Kayo, kissing.
Ayaw kisisi.
Bakit?
Wala ba toothbrush nung Stone Age? Kadiri!
Ang ating game, pass the floor. Kung sino yung team leader, hindi na siya naka-blindfold. But the rest, naka-blindfold. Ipapasa lang niya yung floor sa susunod na plate hanggang sa dulo, pabalik.
I want to live in a future where the water is clean, the air is fresh, and the soil is rich and full of life.
Where world leaders put the well-being of the planet above politics.
Where innovation and technology is used to improve our lives, but not at the expense of nature.
I want to live in a future where we can all look back and know that we have done the right thing.
7,000 cities across the world are dimming their lights.
In the global Lights Out campaign.
The annual campaign involves people switching off their lights for an hour.
Raise awareness about climate change and the environment.
Join us on March 26th.
At 8:30 p.m.
for Earth Hour.
Earth Hour.
Earth Hour.
Let's come together to protect our planet.
Protect our one shared home.
Let's shape our future.
Let's shape our future.
Let's shape our future.
Welcome back to INA UK and Europe edition. I'm Ann Glaser. More interesting stories from around the UK and Europe this week. In Germany, there's a place in the heart of Frankfurt that can make you forget the city's tall buildings, and that's the Palmengarten. Jessica Callow has the report for us. Let's take a look.
Frankfurt is known for its high-rising buildings and fast-paced environment. But did you know there is a place downtown where you can just relax and enjoy nature? Join me as I take a look at a special anniversary exhibition called Frankfurt's Green Heart, 150 Years Palmengarten, and learn more about the history of Palmengarten, or the Palm House, a significant landmark here in Frankfurt. As the Palmengarten in Frankfurt is celebrating its 150th anniversary, the garden's history is showcased in a grand open-air exhibition. The exhibition displays their botanical and horticultural collections and shows how the Palm House has been used for various events and concerts over the years. Even sports events have been held here, such as rugby, tennis, and ice skating competitions. The exhibition includes interactive workshops and shows. In one of the workshops, you can learn how the botanical garden could evolve in 150 years from now. As it is a celebration, the program includes concerts that range from chamber operas, jazz, to folk music. In honor of its 150th anniversary, the Palmengarten opened a new building, the Flower and Butterfly House, consisting of 2 departments. The first house, called the Warm House, is home to tropical butterflies where pupae and caterpillars are kept. If you're lucky, you can watch the hatching of butterflies. The second, called the Cold House, showcases the interaction between insects and plants. Here, you can match different flowers with each other to learn more about pollination. With all the fun educational activities and strolling around, you can also just sit back and relax at the Palm House. It is a great place for families and children, as the Botanical Garden offers a large playground and a water park. During nice weather, you can rent a boat and start paddling around the Palm House's pond. From picnic spots to boating activities, children's playgrounds, as well as guided tours, the Palmengarten of Frankfurt offers more than its display of 13,000 subtropical and tropical plant species. This place can be enjoyed in solitude as well as with a group of friends.
I'm Jessica Kalau from the EBC Germany Bureau, and we live in interesting times.
Thank you, Jessica, for that quick tour. Now, in our sports segment, Kit Dibabuyo brings us the latest on Manchester United. Let's watch.
Manchester United have held positive talks with Ajax coach Erik ten Hag about the vacant manager's job at Old Trafford. It was reported on Wednesday. Ralf Rangnick has been in charge of the misfitting Premier League giants on an interim basis since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was sacked in November after nearly 3 years in charge. Sky Sports said the talks with ten Hag had been positive, reporting that club chiefs were believed to be impressed by his vision, but it is understood to be too early to talk about favorites for the job. Other names in the frame include Paris Saint-Germain boss Mauricio Pochettino, Sevilla manager Julian Lopetegui, and Spain coach Luis Enrique. Ten Hag, who took over at Ajax in 2017, won the Dutch League title in 2019, and in 2021, his team are currently 2 points clear of PSV Eindhoven at the top of the Dutch table. Whoever takes over at Old Trafford will have a major rebuilding job with a clutch of senior players including Paul Pogba, Jesse Lingard and Edinson Cavani all out of contract at the end of the season. The future of the 37-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo, who rejoined United in August, has also been the subject of widespread speculation after the club's disappointing season. United last week exited out of the Champions League, beaten by Atletico Madrid in the last 16, and are struggling to finish in the top 4 spot of the Premier League. Rangnick is set to stay at Old Trafford for an additional 2 years in a consultancy role after his interim job finishes at the end of the season. Reporting for Sport from the UK for E&I am Keith Dimabuyu, and we live in interesting times.
Thank you for the sports update, Kit. Now we have our view from our window. Here is a glimpse of the small commune of Etretat in the Normandy region of France. Here we have a beautiful view of the beach that holds a significant place in history. However, what Etretat is particularly known for is its chalk cliffs with 3 natural arches and a pointed formation called the Needle that are as high as 70 to 90 meters. It is a great place for a short hike to capture the beauty of nature in this small town. Video courtesy of Kate Burbibis from our EBC Belgium Bureau. Thank you for this very nice view, Kate. That's it for today's program. Stay safe and keep positive as we bring you more stories next week from the United Kingdom and Europe. I'm Anne Glauser from Geneva, Switzerland. We live in interesting times.